Hey everybody, this is Symphonic to talk about really probably random things, and mostly I'll just complain. But according to the title, Saturday Morning Cartoons. So I don't know about all of you, and right now that is none of you because nobody's watching. No big surprise there. I don't know how many of you grew up in the 80s, and I would guess up until like maybe the mid 90s. This was kind of before the advent of Cartoon Network and really during the advent of Nickelodeon, but Nickelodeon played a bunch of different things. So there were really, hey Doomsday, how you doing? There were really two times of the week for cartoons, 2.5 if you count in the morning, and that was after school, and that was on Saturday morning. And Saturday morning, that was the what's this toy from? Yeah, so I'll tell you in a second. Saturday morning was the best. So this toy, his name is Bumble Lion. He is part lion. Hey, Gomez. Part lion, part bumblebee. He is part of a toy line in a cartoon that only had like 7 or 8 episodes called The Wuzzles. And the Wuzzles came on TV, I want to say 86, 87. And it was short-lived and kind of, as you can see with this, it was the combination of two animals that don't normally go together. So Bumble Lion or Bumblebee Lion. There were some other ones. There was a elephant and kangaroo mix called Ellaroo. There was a monkey. Man, I don't I don't remember as much as I probably should. But yeah, there were a handful of them. The show didn't last very long. I want to say that it was put out by Disney. I know that the toy line was from Hasbro, but this is interesting. It's for one reason being that this is a solid stuffed animal. Like if you were to like really toss this at somebody, it wouldn't hurt them, but it would surprise them with its heft. Hey, Spider Comics 7. So yeah, so what I was mainly going to talk about while I'm wasting time waiting for my wife to call me to go to my son's elementary school and pick up a bunch of forms for the PTA that need to be shredded. We're kind of like or Saturday morning cartoons and cartoons in general. And I mean, there's all kinds of information out there about, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, the biggies, even DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, whatever. There was a hippo monkey, a lion moot, and a few others. Yeah, there are a bunch of them. So what I was going to talk about was at least some of the, I mean, they're not obscure, but like Brave Star, or as it said on the TV show, Brave Star. I thought that was an interesting line. What else? You would think I would prepare for these things, but I don't. I just, whenever I have a chance, I turn the camera on because I like to see myself talking to myself, essentially. But yeah, I mean, so for every line of like He-Man or whatever else, there was a line that wasn't quite as popular. Like I said, there was Brave Star. There was like this Texas Rangers in Space show. There was Jace and the Wheeled Warriors or something like that. There was Sectars, if anyone remembers Sectars. What else? For Barbie, there was the Jim and the Holograms. I guess Barbie's owned by Mattel, so Jim was probably from Hasbro. But yeah, I mean, Saturday morning was the time, and I played soccer as a child. Well, I mean, I actually played up until college, but when I was skinnier. Anyway, and it sucked too because I had games on Saturdays, and luckily we were some of the first people in like the neighborhood to get a VCR. So we used to tape the Saturday morning cartoons. There was one cartoon where they had Yogi Bear, but he was in the mall. So instead of Jellystone Park, he was in Jellystone Mall, and he was like security for the mall or something. It was pretty insane stuff back then. Although I guess now, I mean, the shows are really crazy, like wacky stuff. I tried watching Adventure Time, I think is what it's called. It's not really a Saturday morning cartoon, but I didn't understand what was going on. But I'm old, so who knows? Yeah, and it's weird because I think there's a back then. I mean, all they really were commercials for the toys, but I don't know. There was that connection that really that made it interesting. I mean, even some of the stuff that was like Winnie the Pooh, or things that didn't have toys that weren't cartoons, like Saved by the Bell, Hang Time. All of those shows were pretty great. But yeah, I really liked Mask. Mask wasn't particularly obscure. And I heard that they're making a movie. I know that the comic books have gone up a little bit recently in price. So yeah, everything's coming back. Why come out with anything original nowadays when you can just recycle something, from the past? And when you've already done Transformers and a lot of the Marvel properties, and why not start with something like Mask? I heard also that they were coming out with Thundercats again, but it was like it's supposed to be more like a comedy than. I mean, I guess it had some funny elements, and I know that they redid Thundercats a couple of years ago. It sounded really stupid, but again, what do I know? They're not making the television show for me as much as I wish they were. And then we had Voltron. I'm lucky enough, and I guess it's downstairs, but I have both the metal lion Voltron, as well as the car one. Those were really cool back in the day. I don't remember the car one ever being part of the cartoon, but people can correct me if I'm wrong. Comics, they have that new DuckTales, but it's I haven't checked it out. I'm a huge Jeff Smith fan, the creator for Bone, and he did for San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for issue 0, and then a variant for issue 1. It's like the same cover. One's black and white, one's color. He did that, and so I picked, I think, the San Diego Comic-Con one up because I wanted to support him. But here's the funny thing about cartoons. So I grew up in the 90s. My favorite series were Batman, the Animated Series, Spider-Man. Yeah, Rick and Morty's awesome, but I mean, I wouldn't let my so like sometimes when my son goes outside to play, I'll throw an episode of Rick and Morty up on the television. But the minute that he gets inside, shut that bad boy down, because if he's going to learn bad words, he's going to learn bad words from me driving in the car, and not from a cartoon. But yeah, Rick and Morty's awesome. I mean, not pay like $500 for a cup of Szechuan sauce or a little packet of it. Awesome, but still super awesome. Yeah, I mean, see, the funny thing is kids now, a lot of nowadays, they don't watch TV. They watch TV in a whole different way than we do. I mean, if you grew up in the 80s or the 90s, or even really the early aughts, you understood what it was like to watch an episode of something and then have to wait for a week or maybe a day, depending on like kind of what it was. But now my son doesn't understand it. That's my wife. Hold on. Hello? 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 Yes, I will be there in 5 minutes. Okay. All right, bye. All right, well, got to go to the elementary school. Y'all have a good weekend. I just used to, yeah, that's my, that's the the ringtone for my wife. For everyone else, it's the Star Wars theme. And then for text messages, it's the Stranger Things one. All right. I have to go, apparently, and go to the elementary school. We have to shred PTA material. You know, when you're embezzling money, you got to do it that way. No, I'm just joking. She's not embezzling money. Anyway, have a good one and have a good weekend. All right. Thanks. Bye.